let me go across to Dr. Anil Gupta, who's joining me right now, Professor and Head at NIDM. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this evening. Why do we tend to repeat the same mistakes every time? We've seen these cloud bursts happening in Jammu and Kashmir, in Himachal, in Uttarakhand. Time and again, there's been a spate of cloud bursts, so much so that they've almost become predictable during monsoons. Why would we have camps placed in areas that are likely to be washed away?
I will have a little mixed reaction to your question, and your question is very, very important. So very quick 3 points. One is that we had a lot of lessons from past. To some extent that we could learn and we could implement. Now we are very good in emergency response. So that we are witnessing that how fast we are able to coordinate, including logistics also, and search and rescue operations. However, this is not the complete story. The real story is that are we able to really prevent or reduce the size of disasters? Means we can we reduce the damage? So that is the real aspect where still a long gap is there. So I do agree that now there is a better head count, and we have RFID and these kind of things. But I think each and every pilgrimage, what kind of basic training or basic orientation to be given regarding the disaster preparedness, I think that is very fundamental, and we need to look from now onwards. And second aspect, why such incidences are increasing? Because if we look at the incident, so it is not only water, but lot of rubble and other things. And now we find in not only in the region of the Amarnath, but most of the places in hills. Like the slopes are weak now, slopes are eroded, and that is the reason whether it is this area or the Tapovan incident, or we had a lot of incidents in 2013 in Kedarnath. So this also gives an idea that we need to identify the vulnerable hotspots, and we need to work even when there is no yatra going on and no disaster is there. So stabilize those areas, so that these incidences are reduced. Even if there is floods, those are not that devastating. Then how to avoid the areas of the track where people are walking. So that kind of issues are important. I think these are 3 points. And second, number of the people are also increasing. I think that is also very important aspect to see. That number of pilgrim visitors are increasing. So can we relook at it?
Right.
Yeah.
So while we may not be able to control the disaster, would you say its impact could have perhaps been cushioned if extreme weather warnings are given in time or even monitored regularly?
Yeah, there are a lot of discussions around Doppler weather radars. Though we agree that in the hilly terrains, the usefulness of the Doppler weather radars also an issue, because if we get a warning of 20-25 minutes, but certainly it can help people escape. If people are well trained, people can certainly escape to better locations, safer locations. So this is one. I would say the direct benefit. Second thing is that identifying the location well in advance, which are vulnerable, where such kind of things can happen. Because this was also not yet this is not yet confirmed whether it was a cloud burst, because cloud bursts are also a very kind of a volatile or very different dynamic scenario. A heavy downpour is termed as cloud burst, but it can be a local phenomena, and most probably in this case also it is just a local phenomena that is very usual in the hill areas. But what I was stressing previously also, that in disaster preparedness or in emergency preparedness, even in army operations also, we have a very important aspect that we say that if something can go wrong, will go wrong. So surely if something can happen, it will happen. But when it will happen, that is a very important aspect. And for that, actually, we have to prepare. So we have to prepare. Right. Not only our emergency services, but we have to make people also ready. That's very important.
So talking about disaster preparedness here, sir, how difficult is it to predict a cloud burst? Because the IMD may require a very dense radar network, and that's what I was reading in my in the reports, that they may require a dense radar network in a cloud burst prone areas such as the Western Himalayas. So how do you ensure that these predictions are made in time?
That is the real issue. That is the real issue, and that question was raised several times in 2013 also, when the Kedarnath tragedy also took place. So what I say that even if we have lesser accuracy of such kind of predictions, we should be in a better level of preparedness. So even if we have 50% accuracy or 70% accuracy, we are better prepared. So now, as I was referring, that each and every pilgrim should also be made aware of three things. One is that he should know that he has to be watchful of the situations, including the weather development. Then he should be very alert that what he has to do, what he has to convey to his peers and colleagues in the Jatha. So I think that is also very important. And the last point that I would also refer again, that how do we stabilize the slopes? How do we look at the ecosystems and natural, these nature-based dimensions, because now the hills are becoming so fragile. That is the reason it is not only water, it is bringing a lot of rubbles, woods, and so many other things, and that is more damaging.
Right.
Yeah.
So the important takeaways here is that we need to focus not only on the weather. Of course, the extreme climatic conditions are challenging because of climate change, which is again our own doing. At the same time, to stabilize these hilly terrain that could perhaps cushion the impact that's created because of this flash flood triggered by cloudburst. Thank you so much, Dr. Anil Gupta, for getting us all of those inputs and perhaps helping us understand what the scenario is and what should a person do in such a scenario. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.